Welcome to another cozy fall reading vlog. I am so excited here. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be playing a round of Scooby Doo bingo because of course we are. This is one of my favorite things ever now, and we're going to be using this to pick out some books for my physical TBR. I'm able to pick out one of these for a library book if I want, but for the most part I'm using it to help me get through my physical TBR cart. So let's go ahead and play. We're going to start by drawing cards, and then the first bingo we get, we will go back and pick out the cards that make up that bingo and read the prompts on them and select our books. Stay tuned. We're going to make a new soup recipe in this. We're going to have some cozy fall times. We're going to decorate a fun new rotating bookshelf I got that I'm really excited, and we're going to decorate it with fall stuff. I can't wait. This is going to be really fun. So let's go ahead and start with getting our book selection. Okay, so let's get our first board out. So we have our cards here that we will randomly pick from, and then let's pick out a board. So what are we feeling? I like the look of this board. I don't know, this one's calling to me, so this is the one we're gonna pick. And let's go ahead and play for our first bingo. No on that. Nope. We are missing out here. Wow. Okay. We have this one. We do not have the creeper. Oh, we do have a classic. Oh, okay. That could be tough. Let's see what we get. Not that mummy. Let's see. We got Daphne and the hot dog. Let's see. One there, one there. Oh, look at this. All we need is this one. We would have a bingo. Ooh, okay. I'm getting nervous. No fingerprint. Don't have Fred. Not that one. We have this one. We do have that. Nope. We have this Velma. Oh, now we have this opportunity here too as another bingo. Oh, here we go. Bingo. Okay, so our bingo, let's get our cards out for that. Okay, so we have a classic, a book that ends with an odd number of pages, a nerdy main character, and a new release from this year, which fortunately we've had quite a few months out this year, so that should help a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick out our books based on these prompts. So I actually just filmed my cozy fall tag earlier, and I was talking about wanting to read Frankenstein, so I think that's gonna be our classic pick, because I don't have too many classics. I guess I do have some classic mysteries, but this would just be a good solid, very fall, very spooky one. A new release this year. That might actually be a little trickier. I'm not sure. Oof, what do I... Oh, wait. This came out this year. A Murder at the Movies, A Secret Bookcase Mystery by Ellie Alexander. This whole series has been like fast released this year, so that. And then we have Nerdy Main Character and a book that ends with an odd number of pages. So this is my TBR shelf. I really have quite a few up here I would like to get through. I'd like to pick out maybe one thriller and then one more cozy is what I'm thinking. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And then we'll have a fifth book, a bonus book that I'll show you in a second. This one ends in 439. This one looks, I mean, it looks good, right? Like the second mother, it looks creepy. It looks like a good fall atmospheric read. So let's do that. And then a nerdy main character. Okay, so the thrillers I have no idea about. I'm gonna say anyone who's like a bookish cozy, they're probably kind of nerdy. Just speaking from experience as a book lover. We have some over here as well, but these are more like nonfiction. Oh, well this one, The Last Chance Library. Now, the main character is, now she's a lonely librarian. who would rather spend her time buried in books than venture out into the world. So that, I mean, to me that sounds like someone who's probably a little bit on the nerdy side. So I'm thinking this might be a good one actually. And then we have a new aspect to our bingo TBR. So in a lot of my bingo TBR vlogs, I would end up picking a 5th book just because, like, I don't know, 5 sounded like a good number, and I just wanted I like having 5 books to choose from because I'm a mood reader. So what I did was, because I started a Patreon recently, is I drew this and then I gave them 4 books to vote on, and I'm going to show you what they selected. I'll pop the 4 pictures on screen of the books, but I gave them 4 different books that fit the prompt. Characters are away from home. Some of them were like on the road, some of them were going to a party out of town, etc. And the one that they selected, dun dun dun, is Coconut Drop Dead by Olivia Matthews, and I'm so excited. It's part of the Spice Isle Bakery. This is the newest release. It came out at the very end of last year, and in this one our main character is going to a festival. So just to go over our selection, we have Coconut Drop Dead, Characters Are Away from Home, The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson, which is like a cozy fiction. I don't think it has a mystery, but I think it's like a cozy kind of heartwarming read. The Second Mother by Jenny Milchman, which is a thriller that ends with an odd number of pages. A Murder at the Movies by Ellie Alexander for a new release. And then Frankenstein for a classic. I feel like this is the least amount of mysteries I've had in one of these in a while, because they're almost always mysteries, and then I have both a classic and this cozy fiction, which I don't think has like a mystery. So it's kind of interesting for me, but these are all ones that are on my physical TBR, so I'm excited to tackle them. And I think we have some really great picks for fall between this like really cool mystery festival one, this kind of gothic atmospheric thriller, Frankenstein, of course, very thematic. I have no idea what time of year this takes place in, but it just looks like a great cozy read. And baked goods, what's not to love? So thank you guys for picking some books out with me, and let's get into the reading. Frankenstein next, and then I want to make myself like a little magic potion. And what I mean by that is I want to make myself like a purple or blue drink, and my mom recently got me this lavender blueberry lemonade, which I know isn't the most fall drink ever, but it's still warm out where I am, so that sounds really good to me. And it looks really fun and magical, so let's see how this turns out. Okay, let's give this a try. Ooh, that's really nice. I love blueberry. I wasn't sure about the lavender. It's actually more pink than like purple. I thought it'd be more like a blue or purple shade, which maybe this is a little less like witchy looking for this vibe, but this is still so fun. That is so good. Like really refreshing. And the color makes me feel really cool. So we're gonna call that one a win, and let's go ahead and dive into some Frankenstein. Guys, I meant to update you guys on this. I read this in one morning. That's how much I loved this. I flew through this. I enjoyed book one deeply. In fact, I talked about it and read it for my bookish vlog that I did recently, like an ultimate bookish vlog. So I'll link that above if you didn't watch that and you want some more. This was so good. And again, I have to reiterate, I love the fact that her cat is named Professor Plum. It's amazing. And there were just so many interesting film details and Hitchcockian themes. And then I learned that one of the rooms at the bookstore for like the kids in middle grade, it's themed after Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. So they have like a sand pit and like archaeological tools and binoculars and stuff for the kids to play in it. And I was like, can I be transported to this book and be a child? Because I would absolutely want to dig through the sand pit. That sounds like so much fun. The mystery for this, excellent. I did put together the who behind everything, but it was really good. There is an overarching general like plot for this series, which is kind of interesting for a cozy, so you will want to read these in order, so keep that one in mind. But oh, I loved this. And then her best friend Pri has just grown on me so much. So she owns a coffee shop and she's very artistic and everything. I really like her. I think she's a really cool side character. She's got her own kind of love story evolving, which was really sweet. And I just love this series. And I got an e-arc for Death at the Dinner Party, which will already be out by the time you're seeing this video. So I will have it. I'll link that down below as well. But oh, it's so good. I absolutely recommend this series. I think it is so much fun, and I don't know, I'm really enjoying this. This might be my favorite from her if it keeps going like this. I mean, I'm in double digits for the Bake Shop Mystery series. I think I've read like 14 or 15 books in that series. Really love that one, of course. And then I'm working my way through the Sloane Kloss Mystery series, which I also really like, but this one, oh, it's got the bookish vibes. It's got the Clue themed cat name. It's got these event plans like that are so cool. Absolutely recommend this. So definitely check that out. I couldn't even give you guys an update because I was reading through it so quickly because I love it so much. So that is my update for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching me decorate a bit yesterday. I got to decorate this fall bookshelf, which was so fun. And I did a little bit more decorating on my bookshelf behind me, swapped out some of my like general fall kind of stuff for more Halloween themed things, because now we are just about entering October when I'm filming this, and you'll probably be seeing this in very early October. So yes, thank you guys for joining me for the fall stuff. Let me know down below what kind of fall activities are you doing, and I'll see you guys for the next update. Bingo TBR curse is back. I have a DNF. This is the slowest paced book that has ever been called a thriller. It's so slow. I got to page 84, so not quite 25, I was like over 20% into this book, and like nothing has happened. Like there's been more descriptions about the main character's dog, which, don't get me wrong, I love dog descriptions, but not as much in my thrillers. I'm really looking for thrills typically in my thrillers. I feel like nothing has happened, and there's just something about the writing that really drags. And while I appreciate the author, she really has a great like gothic setting on the seaside, like cliffs on this island, she goes into everything to such detail, and it really just drags with the pacing, and I can't get myself to keep reading this. So that is that. I'm gonna just leave it at that, but I unfortunately did not enjoy The Second Mother. So we are DNFing that because life is too short to read books that you're not enjoying, in my opinion, and I have plenty of books behind me that I could be reading. But I have started 2 other books and they are going well. So the one I have the most progress in is The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson. So this is like a cozy-esque fiction. It's very heartwarming. However, there is some language, so please keep that in mind. I haven't come across anything graphic. I mean, it's not like a mystery, so there's not, to the best of my knowledge, it's not like a murder or any like violence or anything like that, and there hasn't been anything graphic like in the romance department, but there is some language, so keep that in mind. But I do really enjoy this, and I can tell it's gonna make me cry. In fact, I was doing reading sprints tonight on my YouTube channel, and I specifically did not read this on reading sprints because I knew I would start crying at some point. I can feel it coming. So our main character in this is June, and she's a very lonely librarian. She is very shy. She's very socially awkward. She's very reclusive. She lost her mother in the last like 2 or so years, and unfortunately she has been really grappling with that. So if you have recently lost a loved one, I would recommend maybe putting this off. It's a hard one. There's definitely a lot with the grief aspect so far into this book, and I'm like 50 pages in. So it really grapples with grief. We're really getting into June's character. We're kind of learning about her everyday life, and basically the library is threatened to be shut down, and she has to come together with her community and library patrons and finally really form community and true bonds and relationships, because right now she's really skirting by in life. She's just doing whatever she can to just make it through the day, which completely understandable, but it's been years and she hasn't made any active changes in her life. She's really, here's how it puts it on the back. To rescue the place in the books that mean so much to her, June must finally make some changes in her life, and maybe in fighting for her cherished library, June can save herself too. So it's a strong story about grief, love, and overcoming obstacles and emotional hardship and fighting for what matters to you in life is what I'm getting at so far, which is why I just know this is gonna make me cry. Like I can already, like I'm kind of welling up talking about this. So this one I'm definitely gonna read some more of tonight. It's a heavy hitter already. The other book I started was Coconut Drop Dead by Olivia Matthews. I'm part listening to this on audiobook. I had an audio credit through Audible this month, so I decided to use that to help me kind of like tandem read this. Not at the same time. I don't like listening to audio and reading physically, but I'll just go back and forth between listening and reading it physically. Right now I'm about 50 pages into this as well, so I'm not super far in, but the mystery is already kicked off in full flying colors. The series is overall, this is book 3 in the series, and from what I remember of the other mysteries, the mysteries do start quite quickly in this series, so if you're someone who doesn't like to waste a lot of time, you just want to kind of dive in, I feel like the mysteries usually start within a couple chapters. And I just really like Lindsay and her family. I love her grandmother. It's actually been really nice to listen to this partially on audio because you get the accents, like her grandmother is very strong, a Caribbean accent, and it also helps me at least to hear some of the words said aloud, because some of the words, like the Caribbean foods, are not words that I'm super familiar with, so when I'm reading them I'm not entirely sure always how to say some of them. So I've actually really enjoyed having the audio as well. So that's been really enjoyable, and so far I don't have a whole lot to say other than we got into the mystery. I'm intrigued. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm enjoying Lindsay and her character, her family, her strive to make her business successful. She's got a family bakery that serves different Caribbean desserts, and it's always really interesting to hear about those. And her family owns partial stakes in the business, so she owns the largest bit, like 40%, and then it's broken between her parents and then a little bit for her grandmother and brother. And I just love the family connection. And in this particular one, this is like my out of town prompt. It's technically, I think, within the same like larger New York area, but it's within a whole different neighborhood and away from the home setting, and it takes place at this Caribbean festival where all these different vendors are coming, so it's a different location, and it's very interesting to kind of see some of the other organizations that are there at the festival. So I'm really enjoying this one. So that is my update. So we have one book down, and it was a 5-star amazing read, and I just got approved for the e-arc for the next 2 books in the Secret Bookcase Mystery Series by Alexander, and I'm really excited. And then we have one DNF, not amazing, and then we have 2 very strong beginnings for both of these. I'm feeling like these are these are both authors I've read before, and they had very good books that I've enjoyed, so that is always optimistic, of course, but I've really, really enjoyed that. So excited to continue these, and I'll give you guys an update tomorrow. Whatever day it is, you're having a good day. It's currently Monday, and it's been a little bit of a rough day. I got another double ear infection, so I'm on more antibiotics, which is real fun, but I'm glad to at least be on the next dose of those to hopefully get rid of the ear infection. I had strep and ear infections earlier in September, and I don't think the antibiotics like fully tackled the ear infection, so that's where we're at. But I do have some pretty big reading updates for you. So I finished The Last Chance Library by Freya Sampson. This made me cry. Freya Sampson knows how to just like play at your heartstrings. She really, really is good at like writing in-depth characters who are very relatable, who are imperfect, who have, you know, flawed pasts, flawed futures, who need help and comfort and community and just bringing people together in a believable way. Both Nosy Neighbors and this book, The Last Chance Library, have featured community heavily. So this is not a mystery. It does involve a lot of community-centric things. It's more about personal growth with our main character, June, who is a librarian, and she's just very isolated, very lonely ever since her mother passed away. She's been actively grieving for many years, and she really hasn't gone out and like lived life in any way that she had wanted to in her future. So that is kind of where this is at. And I cried at one point. I was reading some of this on reading sprints, and I was like tearing up. I laughed out loud at multiple points. I mean, this book just has every part of the human emotion that you could like experience reading something, and it really got me. So absolutely 5 stars. I mean, I think this and Nosy Neighbors are probably going to show up on my best books of the year. I love them. There is some cursing and like little innuendo, but overall it's a pretty not graphic read. There's no like graphic violence or like romance, stuff like that. So it's very cozy and heartwarming overall. And then Coconut Drop Dead by Olivia Matthews. So I've been reading this physically and also listening to it, and I've actually preferred listening to it. I'm enjoying it both ways. It's a great mystery, great characters, great family. I love Lindsay and her family, the Murrays. They are so personable and just loving, and they would just like pull you up to a table and be like, okay, you know, I'm feeling good, let me feed you some food, like we're gonna get you feeling better, and like give you hugs, and they just make my heart soar. But I love listening to the audio because the author will do Caribbean accents for some of the characters who have them, especially her grandmother, and it helps with some of the words in the book. For myself at least, since I'm not as familiar with some of the foods and things, to hear them pronounced correctly. So I have found that to be really, really nice. So I am so enjoying this book. I'm on chapter 21. So I'm on page 220, so I have about 50 to 60 pages left tonight, so I'm hoping to wrap this up. But I've just been so enjoying this. I just love this Cozy Mystery series. It's truly so nice. It's interesting to learn about the different baked goods. Her family is great. They really get behind Lindsay every time she goes to solve a mystery. Like, they'll have family meetings where they'll discuss like pros, cons, suspect lists, and I just love it. And I've enjoyed learning more about the Little Caribbean Festival. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And then Frankenstein, I don't really have an update on. I just have been in the mood for cozy the last like 2 days of reading, which is why I was reading these two, but I will get more into Frankenstein tonight. And yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Got some baked potatoes in the oven for a very low-key meal because I'm not feeling up to making anything spectacular, but that soup was amazing. We have leftovers still, and I might have some of that soup tonight too, so there's that too. But this has just been really nice. I just wanted to give you guys a quick reading update, and that is where I'm at with everything. So far, so good. Really, we just had the second mother not work out so well, but these books, amazing. And then Ellie Alexander's book, amazing. And then we have Frankenstein, which will be a departure from my normal reading, definitely, but I think will be very interesting, and I know at least the basic storyline, like the basic idea behind the plot, so we'll see. It's so good. The ending for this was so good. I did kind of put together like the who behind everything, but the ending like scene and the reveal, I was on the edge of my seat, and I just love Lindsay and her family so much. I'm hoping there's more coming out in the series. I haven't seen anything about it, and this one came out in last December, I want to say, so I'm hoping more are coming out. Let me know if you know. But an excellent mystery. I'd say a solid 4 stars. Just the heart with the family collaborating to solve things and supporting each other, the bakery scenes, the interesting side characters. I love some of the subplots with the grandmother especially, and I just really enjoy this series, so I'm really hoping there's more. Let me know if you know, but this was a really strong ending. I finished it late last night and just, I love it. Otherwise, Frankenstein. Ooh, it's creepy, and I don't know why this didn't occur to me, but I didn't realize that this was told in the form of like letters and like journal entries. I feel like I knew that somewhere in my brain, but I didn't really think about it when I first picked this up, and it's just, ooh, I mean, it's creepy. And then with the illustrations in here, it just really creates this, it just adds so much. I really, really appreciate the illustrations as I'm reading this. But overall, I'll say this is definitely, I can see why this is a quintessential favorite for fall or Halloween. I see why Frankenstein is such an iconic character. I didn't realize that this was actually kind of the start of the sci-fi genre, which I found really interesting because I don't read a lot of sci-fi. I don't really know much about the genre, but this apparently was like kind of the first big novel in the sci-fi genre. And I love that it was written by a woman, even if it was anonymously published at first, and I just love that. So yeah, this is definitely, I see why it's a classic. I enjoyed it. All-time favorite classic? No, but something that was fun and enjoyable, especially with the illustrations, and just perfect for this time of year? Yes. So that is the end of this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoy this sort of thing, I hope you'll hit subscribe. I do post new book content, especially within like the mystery genres, on my channel every single week, and I hope you'll hit subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Please let me know down below, what are you reading this autumn, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!